Well, hello there, friends. Another fantastic recipe today. My butter poached salmon. Amazing. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly how to make this amazing recipe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bells. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly how to make this fabulous recipe with salmon. All right, friends, we're finally that video you've been asking about, the salmon poached in butter. Let me show you how easy it is to make. It really is. This is the beautiful Norwegian salmon that I get at the fish peddler. The fishmonger, then he's in Fort Lauderdale. I've been buying fish from them for 20 years. They're fabulous. No smell whatsoever. You know, if you smell fish, not so good. Fresh fish does not smell. I don't care if it's salmon. I don't care if it's omega-3 oil. I don't care whatever you call it. It's not supposed to smell. Fresh fish do not smell. So here we go, folks. We're going to cut it right there. We're going to take it out. I'm going to cut it in medallions. Let me explain you what I mean by medallions. First, I get my fillet like that. All the skin has been removed. All the bloodline has been removed. You can get the fishmonger to do it for you, or you can remove it yourself. I like to cut it in medallions, no thicker than maybe 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. No thicker than that. We're going to cut beautiful medallions, about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch thick, maximum. No bigger than that, friends. Thinner it is, easier it is to cook, and more control you have. Always check your fish to make sure there's no bones in it. Check it out. Usually the bones are right here. In case there is one, take a tweezer and pull it in the same direction. I wish there was one I could show you. Same direction as the bone is. Don't try to put it the other way, you'll break it. Now, everybody's always asking me, says, you know, you're touching your rag, your hand with your rag, and I have to demonstrate because there's a lot of you that know and there's a lot of you that don't know. So you always make comment and says, he touches his hand with his rag. Well, my rag, my friends, is water that I have in my sink, and the water I have in my sink is my sanitized water. I use it all the time. You see, I got about a gallon and a half of water with a little bit of soap and a cupful of bleach. Not a cupful, not a cup, which means it's like maybe a half of an ounce. It doesn't smell any more than your pooled water. You see, and this water right there, my friend, is sanitizing my hands, sanitizing my tools, sanitizing everything I use, you see? So now when I go like this, and I clean my knife is clean, my hands are clean, and I don't have to worry about touching anything, okay? So it's really important. A lot of you are always concerned about this. Oh my goodness, he's touching his hand with his rag. Well, the rag is sanitizing, and I'm sanitizing my hand as I go, all right? So for everybody who is concerned. So now look, friends, this is the secret here. We must put butter on top of the fish. But if I put whole butter like that, I'm going to have a heck of a tough time putting the butter on top of the fish, brushing it on. It's too hot. So what I have to do is I have to slightly melt the butter. And how am I going to do that? It's very simple. First, I'm going to use fleur de sel. I'm going to put fleur de sel. If you've never used fleur de sel, a flour of salt. It's not really means flour of salt, but it's a salt that comes from the Galanga area of France. It's an amazing salt, fleur de sel. If you have never used fleur de sel, you should try it for fish. If you don't have fleur de sel, use whatever salts make you happy, okay? And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a bowl, and we're going to put some butter in there, and we're going to slightly melt it. So that's the, friends, and I mean slightly melted. You see? Don't be, it's a lot of butter, don't worry. It's okay, it's good for you. So if I melt it too much, I'll separate it. If I separate the butter, it's not going to stay on top of the fish. The secret is to have the butter stay on top of the fish while we're cooking it. So I'm going to put it in here, which is just a little pot with water in it. And I have a silicone brush, and I'm going to brush the butter on top of the fish. By the way, one more thing. You see, look how fast it's going to go, friends. You see? See, I don't want to do it too long. The bowl is going to get hot really, really fast, and then the butter is going to separate too much. See, I don't want it to separate too much. Just for a second. That's it. We're not leaving it in there any longer than that. You see? All I did So if you don't want to do the bowl and the water like I just did, you can do it in a microwave oven for like a minute. No, never mind a minute. 10 seconds, 7 seconds. Depends. You see, that's what you want right there. Cream butter. Can you guys see it? Right there. You see, friends? I have creamed butter. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the butter and we're going to rub it on top of the fish. I promise you, friends, this is going to be one of the best salmon you've ever had. And you're not going to believe how simple it is to make. I'm going to make it with asparagus, but you can make it with any vegetables you want. You can make it with rice. You can make it with ginger hair pasta. And one more thing. You see, when I cut the fish in scallopinis, I call it scallopinis, medallions, call it whatever you want. Medallions, more medallion, right? You see, you're going to be eating with the grain. You're cutting it against the grain so you can eat with the grain. You see, you eat with the grain. So now, when you cut it, the weight of your fork is going to be enough. And the secret is not to overcook it. We're only going to cook it for like a few minutes to internal temperature of 125, 130. So we have a perfectly medium rare salmon. If you overcook it, it's dry. Try one time to cook it, 125, 130. You'll never overcook it again. All right, so remember, it's very important that we do this. We don't want a huge piece of salmon. It'll be impossible to cook it correctly if we have a big piece of salmon. You see, I just got it melted just enough so I could do this. So I could put it on top of the fish. You see, friends? Let me tell you, everybody who has ever had my salmon, poached salmon, and I'm sure there's a lot of you subscribers out there that have had it because they came to my restaurant or to my school in Fort Lauderdale, and they've had it, and they go, yeah, we know how good it is. And most of them know how to make it because they came to my school already, and I always taught them how to do this. This is really, really an amazing way to cook salmon. And a child could do it. I mean, really, it's not complicated, right? So a little more fleur de sel, friends. A little more fleur de sel. Use your kosher salt. Use whatever cells make you happy. We're going to take it and we're going to put it in the refrigerator now while I'm making the sauce, okay? Because I don't want the butter to soften at all. I want it to be almost congealed when I go in the oven. I want it to melt very slowly, so as it cooks the fish, it melts slowly, but it stays on top of the fish. When I tell you it's going to be one of the best salmon you've ever had, I am not exaggerating. I promise you. You're going to have it and you're going to say, wow, he was right. He was right. All right, now I'm going to make a sauce, okay, my friends? I'm going to make a sauce, and a very simple sauce, okay? These pans move around. You see that? Look at that. How do you like that? How to keep an eye on it. If you've seen I think it was the barbecue sauce. We see the barbecue sauce. I was talking to the camera and the pan was just like having some motion on its own. I'm going to make a very simple sauce, friends. Very simple sauce, I promise you. It's very simple. A child could do it. So first, we're going to take the butter out of this brush, right? And we're not going to waste it. I don't waste nothing. We're going to melt the butter in here, right there. And then put this in here. So look, we don't waste nothing around here, folks. Put a little more butter in the pan. And we're going to go easy. You got to go too fast. So take it easy. We're going to put some shallots. A little bit of shallots. We're going to cook little shallots in here. Let me get myself my wooden spoon. Right? We're cooking the shallots until they get light golden brown. The shallot. We got those amazing shallots. I don't know if I show them to you in another video. But let me tell you, friends, look at those shallots. Look at this. This is a shallot, eh? Mamma mia. French, Canadian. I mean, this is a French shallots. And this is a Canadian shallots. I don't know what they do in Canada, but man, I tell you, there's something. So look. If you could be here right now and smell the shallots that are cooking in butter, you would say, let's put a little more butter. The smell of shallots or leek than cooking butter is amazing. You know what we're going to add to this, folks? We're going to add some fresh tarragon. A little bit of fresh tarragon. And I'm going to add, if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. I got some, a little saffron. So I'm going to make a little saffron fusion. Saffron and tarragon, or saffron and anise are quite special. If you don't have saffron, don't worry about it. Don't put it in there, okay? Don't be looking for saffron everywhere because you want to make that recipe exactly like this. You don't need to. Just put a little bit if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it, okay? We're going to let that oil saffron infusion do its thing just a little bit. Maybe I put a little bit more saffron. That stuff is expensive. It's amazing how expensive saffron is. This is Spanish saffron. There's great saffron all over the world. I have to be careful because one day I said Spanish saffron were the best, and boy, did I get, good saffron everywhere. I'm becoming politically correct now. Otherwise, I get in trouble. So now, the shallots are good. We're going to make a little white wine reduction. That's all we're going to do. It's very simple. We're going to let it reduce by itself. Hey, you know what I should do? I should keep my fish in the fridge. We shouldn't have a fish right there at room temperature right there. Just keep it in the fridge. Always. Your poultry, your fish, always room in the fridge. Remember the danger zone of food? 40 to 140. 40 is the minute you take it out. 140 is now when it's not quite cooked, especially poultry. Fish is okay. You can certainly eat raw fish. It's okay. You can't be eating no raw chicken. That's for sure. So we let that reduce, friends. We let that reduce. We're going to go a little bit higher. This is the easiest recipe in the world to make, I promise you. This is really, really simple. We're going to let the wine reduce. And then we're going to do some asparagus. And I wanted to show you some asparagus, how to do the asparagus, friends. When you buy an asparagus, you want to make sure you buy big asparagus. The little ding-dong asparagus, they taste like nothing. By the time you peel them, you can't get nothing. You'll say, what do you mean, peel asparagus? Of course, you got to peel an asparagus. You don't want to, otherwise you can't eat it. It's too much fiber in here. So you peel them. How do you peel an asparagus? Very simple, friends. Let me reduce this so I can talk. Very simple to put a peel in asparagus. You put it side down, take a vegetable peeler, and just peel it. Look at this. A child could do this. You see? Matter of fact, let the kids do it. Just tell them not to push too hard. It's very simple, friends. Okay, peel them. And you're going to say, well, I heard people say then if you break the asparagus, yeah, I heard some chefs do that, if you break them. There's a breaking point. You hear those people and things, the chef then tell you, there's a breaking point. If you do that, it snaps. Guess what? If you do this, it breaks here. If you do this, it breaks here. If you do this, it breaks here. If you do this, you break here. You want to see how many breaking points there is? There is no such a thing as a breaking point for an asparagus. There is not, my friends. You want to cut it in a bias, and get ready to go. Now, here's what you do with your asparagus. You don't break it. They break. Of course they'll break. They'll break no matter how you do it. So I cut them at the whatever size I want, right? And then I'm happy. I give it an angle, or I just leave it like that, and I poach it in boiling water. As soon as it's cooked to my liking in a boiling water, I am going to take it. Let me put this right here. And let me just get rid of all this. I'm going to put it in boiling water, and then I am going to, as soon as it's cooked to my liking, and whatever liking that is, that's really up to you. Depends where you come from. If you come from a certain country, like in South America, they like crunchy vegetables, green beans, crunchy asparagus. In Europe, we like more soft vegetables. So cook however you want it. I like my asparagus to be soft. So what? Look, I got white asparagus and green asparagus. So, if you can get white asparagus, they're wonderful. You don't have to get them if you don't want to get them, but you get them. Why do you think they're white? What's the deal with that? Why is it one green, one is one white? It's green because it grows, the white one grows because it's not exposed to light. Matter of fact, when they grow them, they put a dark plastic on it, and they don't see the light at all. So they're not exposed to light. That's why when they grow, they're white. They tested it different. I think they're very delicate. But if you can get them, just poach them in boiling water. They take about the same amount of time as the green one to cook. The minute they come out of the boiling water and they cook to your liking, whatever that is, meat is a little soft, you immediately put them in ice water. So then they're right there. They're ready to go whenever you're ready to cook them. Tonight, we're just going to saute them with a little bit of butter and put them on a plate, serve them with a salmon when we're ready. All right? So let's make sure the sauce is ready to go. I'm going to put a little, now that my wine has reduced, you see, the wine has reduced, I'm going to put a little bit of cream, very little cream, and then I'm going to put some mustard. And I'm going to use a demode mustard seed. It's a mustard with a mustard seed in it. It's called demode or country mustard. You can get it just about everywhere, country mustard, right? And we're going to mix all this up together. Let me get a little whisk. And whisk, I have plenty of whisk. And we're gonna make a sauce right there, and then we're gonna finish it up with a little butter. Okay, friends? That's it, just like this. And we're gonna finish it up with a little butter, and we're gonna put this in the bottom of the plate. Okay? Let's just finish the asparagus. Let's put the sauce on the side for now. We're gonna finish the asparagus, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my fish. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for a second for the fish because I don't want to overcook the fish. So let me get the asparagus going. I'll take a little bit of butter. Anybody who doesn't like butter says, well, that's not a recipe for me. No, it's not. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're ready to go. I think all we got to do is finish the sauce just a little bit. The chicken stock is out of the way. Let me take it out. The water for this, we don't need no more. So all I got to concentrate on, friends, is the sauce and the fry pan. All right? So I don't need my knife here. So let me take the fish and pop it in the oven. All right, here it is. I did put the fish. The oven is at 375. And we'll check it to make sure it is. Yes, it is. And the fish is going to go in there, I would say 4 or 5 minutes. And let me tell you, friends, if you don't have a instant read thermometer, I highly recommend you buy one. There is many of them out there, friends. There's some inexpensive. There's some more expensive. There's about $100. There's about $20. Do they do the same job? Yeah. Why would you spend more? This reads in 3 seconds. This reads in 8 to 10 seconds. So if you got 7 extra seconds, you save $75. $20, save $100. It's up to you. They both, I've checked them again and again and again. They both read the same temperature. But so important. If you have never paid attention to how much temperature you cook your salmon, I want you to do yourself a great favor, friends. I want you to cook your salmon at 125 to 135. Try it one time. And if you buy beautiful, fresh salmon, I promise you, you'll never change. You'll never overcook it again, and you'll always check temperature. We're talking about a few minutes here, friends. I mean, 4 or 5 minutes at the most. You'll see. I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? Let's take those asparagus. We're just going to take a few asparagus, and we're just going to saute them. I don't need all those because I'm just making a plate, a single plate. So we're going to do some white asparagus, and we're going to do some green asparagus. All right? You know, I could put a couple of more, really. There's no reason not to. They're delicious. Right? We're going to put asparagus right there. So what do we put? A seasoning on the asparagus, just salt. And we're going to put a bit of pepper. That's all we're going to do, okay? Just salt and a little bit of pepper. Make sure the pepper is fine grain. There you go, very fine. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to get them warm, right? While the fish is cooking, we're going to get that sauce hot and finish the sauce at the same time, okay, friends? Now, the sauce has a lot of flavors in there. Let me tell you, friends, between the saffron and between the tarragon and between the butter that I'm going to put in, and at the last minute, I'm going to put some chives in there. So this is going to be delicious. The asparagus are good. I'm not looking to brown them. Just a little bit, just to get them hot. That's all I want. Especially the white asparagus, I want them to stay white. So we're perfectly good. Turn the heat off. I'm good with the asparagus. I don't want them to brown too much. And I'm going to put them underneath the salmon, you see. First, we're going to put the sauce, then we're going to put the asparagus, and then we're going to put the salmon. All right, so we're good with that. Let's turn it off. Just a little bit of butter to make the sauce thicker, sorry. And then we should be good. We're going to finish it up with a little butter. But first, let's check on the fish. Let me get my towels. Okay, now I want to show you, okay? And you're not ready yet. But I want to show you what's happening, friends. You see what's happening? I'm taking it out so you can see. Right now, the fish is probably at 100 degrees. You see the butter is starting to melt. And as it's melting, it's cooking the fish. So it's very, very important that we do not overcook that fish. So you'll see, by the time I'm done, all the butter would have melted and the fish will be ready to go. Probably another 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Make sure your fish is hot. Let's look at the sauce. Let's see if we can finish the sauce, okay? And the sauce, all it really needs at this point, friends, a little bit of butter. Now I know, I can hear you already. Oh, look at him, look at him. Look at him. This is my emotional support. I need this butter, friends. We all need it, okay? Let me turn this off. I don't need this anymore. Let's take the butter in there. Now remember, folks, the heat has to be off. Heat has to be off so the butter does not separate, my friends. You see, I don't want the butter to separate. So you immediately mix it. And voila. We have ourselves a beautiful sauce. Let's make sure asparagus did not change color too much. A little bit, but it's okay. Just a little bit. I don't want them to be too brown. Just a little bit of color is good. Just enough so they're hot. That's all I want. That's all I want. Right there. Beautiful. All right. Let's check the fish one more time, friends. And we are ready to plate. Not yet. Not yet. This oven is taking its time to bake it. But it's okay. We got time. We can prepare our plates. So we have plenty of time. Put the sauce in the bottom of the plate. Put as much or as little of the sauce that makes you happy, okay? And then we're going to take the asparagus and we're going to put them on the sauce. Very simple. And you see they cut the same size. So it makes it easier to make a nice plate with them. And they're going into butter, so they're very happy. Right? And I think we're good. All right? Very simple. It's going to be a nice dish. We're going to take our fish, which by now should be just about ready. Hopefully. Let's see how we go. Make sure it's you don't want it to be, I don't want it to be overcooked, but I certainly don't want to be undercooked, my friends. Let's look at it together. All right, so I want you to see it. I know you all want to see it. And look how beautiful that looks. You see right there, friends? Now, if you like it a little more cooked, you go right ahead and cook a little more. But I promise you, this right there is beautiful. Right there, my friends. You give it 2 or 3 scallopini, depends how much you want to feed them. At the top of it, you want to put just a little bit of chopped chives. And voila, my friends. It's simple. I want to try that piece, friends. You see, I love it. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. You see right there, friends? It's flaky. It's falling apart. It's exactly the way I like it. Right there, my friends. It is off. Oh. You don't need a sauce. You don't need an asparagus. You don't need anything. But right there, it's a beautiful dinner. Not difficult to make. A little time consuming maybe just to prepare. But I promise you, you're going to love it. I hope you like this segment. Remember, give us a thumbs up if you like the recipe. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell so you get a notification every Thursday when we do a new video. Make this salmon. I know you're going to love it. It's amazing.